Happy New Year, all my movie-loving maniacs. This is your boy Bankful B of The Last Factor, and now we in 2025, so I thought I'd take a moment to rank my 15 most anticipated movies of 2025. And yeah, I've still got to get my best of and worst of lists coming out. I've already given you what my favorite music of 2024 was, and for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be giving out more best of lists because I like to make sure I watch at least everything I wanted to see before I officially make my top 10 or top 15, 20, whatever I decide to do. And since there's a bit of a slowdown this month, I'm going to be using the month of January to watch as much as I can, and hopefully, I'll have my top 10 coming at you relatively soon. And that is also the same case with my favorite TV of 2024. Expect that very soon. But for right now, let's talk about my most anticipated movies of 2025. Now, before I make a most anticipated list, there are a few directors where I go on Google and type in and search if they're coming out with a movie this year. And Spike Lee is one of those movies. Apparently, he has a movie called High and Low coming out this year, and it's going to have Denzel Washington in it. But either way, I'm always down for anything Spike Lee puts out. That's my number 15 right there. At number 14 is Megan 2.0, which comes out this summer. I really enjoyed that first movie, and so I can't wait to see what they do for the sequel. At number 13 is 28 Years Later. I really love that first movie. The second one I haven't seen in a couple of years, but overall, I do like a good zombie flick, and 28 Days Later was one of my favorite zombie flicks back in the day. So, a sequel, a third movie, years in the making. Let's see how this one turns out. Wicked Part 2. Of course, after watching that first one and seeing how good it was, I have to put Part 2 on this list. It doesn't quite make my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year because there's movies that I'm personally anticipating more than this movie, but yeah, after watching the first one, I'm curious to see how the rest of the story plays out. At number 11 is The Conjuring 4, which is titled The Conjuring Last Rites. I'm a huge fan of The Conjuring movies. Its spin offs like Annabelle and The Nun, a little hit or miss. But overall, I love the Warrens. They're my favorite horror duos in recent memory, and I can't wait to see what their next spooky adventure is next. At number 10 is Karate Kid Legends. I like the Karate Kid movies, and of course, I love Cobra Kai. And look, after seeing part two of Cobra Kai season 6 and seeing how that ends out, I'm very curious to see how part 3 turns out, and I can't wait to see how that basically plays into this movie, if it does. But either way, we have Ralph Macchio returning as Daniel LaRusso, and then Jackie Chan coming back as Mr. Han from The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. I guess he's playing Mr. Han. It isn't confirmed yet. Well, who knows? But either way, watching two karate legends come together in this movie for what is possibly a legacy sequel, I'm curious. Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I love the first two Knives Out movies, and I love a good murder mystery, and I love Daniel Craig in the role of Benoit Blanc. He's just fun to hang out with and fun to solve mysteries with. And say what you will about The Last Jedi, but Ryan Johnson, he definitely knows how to make these movies. Stop hating. At number 8 is Tron Eras. I like the original Tron, but I love Tron Legacy. I have been waiting for a sequel to this movie, despite the fact that Daft Punk, they kind of retired and won't be returning for the soundtrack, but I'm also curious to see what Trent Ratner and Atticus Ross does for the soundtrack to this movie, because I love the soundtrack for Challengers. They did an excellent job here, but I'm also curious to see what the next chapter of the Tron universe is. I will definitely be there to watch this movie on glorious IMAX. At number 4 is Fantastic Four First Steps, which is the MC or Marvel Studios' first attempt at making a Fantastic Four movie, but this isn't the first time that a Fantastic movie has been trying to get off the ground, but hopefully third time's the charm. Fingers crossed that this movie's good. Please be good. And so far, everything that they have shown us, I'm like, okay, y'all on the right track. I still gotta see a trailer, but I'm confident that there's just no way that Kevin Feige is gonna let this go wrong again. At number 6 is James Gunn's Superman, which was titled Superman Legacy, but I guess you just call Superman. But we all saw that trailer. People wept. People got nostalgic. Now, as somebody that is not a big fan of Superman or just not a huge fan of Superman, this movie definitely did shoot up for me. Didn't quite make my top 5, but this is also the first in film form of this new DC universe that James Gunn is getting off the ground. So, fingers crossed. And rounding up my top five is Sinners, which is the new film by Ryan Coogler. Like I said, before I make an anticipated list, I gotta there's few directors that I gotta type in and see if they got anything coming out. If Ryan Coogler is one of those movies, but luckily he dropped the trailer months ago, and I saw this, and I am excited. Ryan Coogler, he's one of my favorite modern filmmakers, and I will watch anything he puts out. At number four is Michael, which is the story of Michael Jackson. It was supposed to come out in April, but it is now scheduled to come out at the end of the year. Now, I am a fan of Michael Jackson. His music and legacy definitely warrants a biographical film. Just how they're going to do that biographical film, we just have to wait and see. But his nephew Jafar Jackson is playing the title character, so hey, keeping it in the family. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Of course, this had to be on here. Over the past few years, I've grown to be a fan of the Mission Impossible movies. I love what Tom Cruise does for these movies. I really love Dead Reckoning Part 1, and I've been waiting to see how they wrap up this two-parter of a Mission Impossible movie. At number two is Thunderbolts, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that comes out on the weekend of my birthday, so yippee for me. But also, I think this really could be the year that Marvel may be getting back on track, and this is definitely something new. This is basically Marvel's answer to the Suicide Squad, and these are all characters that I've been waiting to see again for a long time. But my number one is another Marvel movie, and that's Captain America Brave New World. I love Sam Wilson as the new Captain America. Now, there are some things that are a bit concerning about this movie, but we shall wait and see when the movie comes out. And overall, like again, I think this might be the year that Marvel finally gets back on track, and this movie will definitely be the first indicator of it. But this is definitely one of those movies that I'm want to see the most. And plus, from what we saw in those trailers, it's giving me Captain America Winter Soldier vibes, which is a section of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I've always loved. The Captain America movies, at their best, lean hard into this spy, espionage, political thriller tone. And I can't wait to check it out. And those are my 15 most anticipated movies of 2025. Here's a recap of it, courtesy of Letterboxd. Check me out on there at Last to the Factor. Tell me what you think of this list and what are your 15 or 10 or 5 most anticipated movies of 2025. Let me know in the comment section below. This your boy Bangful B of The Last to the Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.